Hello for everyone who watch my videos. First, let me introduce myself. My full name is Sanctusimus Laurensius and you guys can call me Santus. I am from SMAK Frateran Maumere. And today, we will discuss a motion. As a developing nation, this house will ban online mobile games like Free Fire, Mobile Legends, and PUBG Mobile. And we are on the government team. Okay, so let's jump into our argument. As a developing nation, this house will ban online mobile games like Free Fire, Mobile Legends, and PUBG Mobile. Ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate determinant of whether a developing nation escapes the middle income trap or slides into economic stagnation is its human capital. Developing nations do not have the luxury of high social safety nets or surplus capital. Every hour of youth productivity and every dollar of household income must be channeled toward upward mobility. Yet today, our youth are caught in an engineered epidemic like predatory online mobile games. Therefore, as the government, we proudly moves the motion. As a developing nation, this house will ban online mobile games. First, online mobile games are not harmless entertainment. They are engineered tools of psychological exploitation. In 2018, the World Health Organization officially included gaming disorder in the 12th revision of the International Classification of Disease, identifying symptoms like impaired control and prioritizing gaming over essential life interests. Game developers like Tencent or Garena employ behavioral psychologists to design dark patterns, such as intermittent reward systems, daily login streaks, and algorithm manipulated matchmaking. These mechanics trigger continuous dopamine hits, trapping the brain into a cycle identical to chemical addiction. This addiction hits developing nations far harder than developed ones because of structural vulnerabilities. Market research by Newzoo and Sensor Truth Source Southeast Asia as the fastest growing mobile gaming market globally, driven by its hyper, cheap smartphones and low-cost mobile data. Unlike developed nations, developing countries lack accessibility, public recreational facilities, youth centers, or sport infrastructure. Consequently, mobile gaming becomes the path of least resistance for youth seeking entertainment. With no structural alternatives, addiction becomes statistically inevitable for millions of young citizens who spend an average to 4 to 6 hours of daily on these apps. Why should the judge prioritize this over individual freedom? Developing nations operate on a limited window known as a demographic dividend. If our youth spend formative years chasing virtual ranks rather than developing hard skills, our future workforce will be underskilled. The cost of inaction is permanent loss of economic competitiveness that will trap our country in low-wage labor for generations. Second, freemium mobile games operate on microtransactions like selling virtual currencies, character skins, and loot boxes. According to Sensor Tower, games like PUBG Mobile and Free Fire generate billions of dollars annually, with a massive portion extracted directly from lower to middle income players in developing markets. This constitutes direct capital flight. Lower currency flows out of our domestic economic straight into offshore bank accounts of multinational tech conglomerates, offering zero tangible economic return, infrastructure building, or tax benefits to our society. Well, the opposition will say, why not just use parental controls or screen time limits? Here's why that fails in our specific contents. The generational digital divide in developing nations, millions of parents are working class individual laboring to 12 to 14 hours a day in informal sectors. They lack both the time and the digital literacy to configure complex parental controls or monitor encrypted smartphones. And then there is infrastructural loopholes. Age verification systems are easily bypassed using fake IDs or parents' accounts. President, countries like India banned PUBG Mobile and Free Fire precisely because of soft restrictions failed to curb financial exploitation of young distress. A server-level ban creates high friction, cutting off access for over 90% of casual and young users immediately. And there is household level. Every dollar spent by a low-income family on virtual diamonds is a dollar that taken away from basic nutrition, economic supplies, or healthcare. National level, preventing domestic capital flight, protects our national balance of payments and redirects consumer spending back into local economy, supporting local business and community development. So, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot build highways, construct hospitals, or elevate our GDP using virtual ranks or digital skills. Developing nations require discipline, real-world skills, and financial retention. By banning online mobile games, we reclaim millions of reproductive hours of our youth. We protect vulnerable families from predatory digital exploitation, and we safeguard our national economy. For all these reasons, the government firmly begs to propose. And thank you for all your attention. That's all.